Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're joining me for the first time, my name is Melissa Reed and I am a mixed media artist from Pennsylvania. So today I have some watercolor paper taped down with some painter's tape there, and I've pulled out my set of acrylic inks again and some really fun bright colors. If you saw last week's video, I mentioned that I bought a bunch of these at Joann Fabric's going out of business sale, and I don't have a ton of experience using them. So basically, I just want to spend some time playing around and seeing what I can get them to do, excuse me, so that I can maybe then incorporate them into some serious artwork. Much like last week's video, this is just going to be me kind of playing with them to see what happens. So what I end up making here is definitely not my normal style, but it's a lot of fun and I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. So I took a watercolor brush and just added some water right to the surface of my paper there, and of course I've got cat hair all over it because there's cat hair all over everything in my house. That's just what happens. And I am using, like I'd mentioned, some very bright colors. I've got turquoise, I've got that color there is called flame, and fluorescent pink down there, and I use a little bit of the yellow, and I didn't end up using any of the black or white, but I pulled them out because I thought I may end up incorporating them. But basically my goal here was just to lay down some puddles of color and let them move around on their own, maybe move them slightly myself, and just kind of see what I could get to happen, and see, what effects I could get. I'm using my hairdryer there to move the color around, and again, much like in last week's video, I'm just going to mention I typically edit this part out because I use my hairdryer to speed dry basically everything I work on, just for the simple fact of shooting these videos and having the time to do it. But it works. It lets me move quickly if I have an idea or I'm on a roll and I just want to keep going. But I kept it in for these because a lot of the design happens when the ink is moving around from the air in the blow dryer there. And I knew I wanted to play around with a little bit of layering, so I wanted the colors to be dry. So I'm sure any of you that work in watercolors know that when you let watercolors dry and you reintroduce more water to them, they will reconstitute themselves and you don't get a fixed image. So the acrylic inks are not like that because it is an acrylic, which is plastic. Once these are dry, they are fixed. So I wanted to get that bottom layer dry so that I could do some transparent layering on top, which I did a little bit of in this video, but I'm going to play with that a little bit more next week. Sorry if that is making you dizzy there as I'm voiceovering this. I'm like, wow, that is a lot of in and out with the camera. But so using the hairdryer just speeded that process up for me so I didn't have to sit and wait. And I did that a few times here, and I'm just adding some more color on and letting it move and blend and getting some nice bright layers. I absolutely love the colors that I used on here. They are just so bright and happy, and that is really just what I was feeling in that moment. Now, I knew I was going to go in and do some line work in the end, fine line work, so I didn't want the background design of the colors to be too crazy busy, but I did want to add some splatters with my turquoise there just to disperse the color a little more evenly so that I had a nice background to work with. So as soon as I had all of these bright colors down, I immediately just kept seeing black and white stripes on there. And so I dug through my old stash of millions of collage papers that I have lying around completely unorganized, so it took a minute. And I cut some pieces. So you saw me kind of measuring there. I had the thought of following along the design and going in and collaging some actual pieces that were the shapes that I had already established there with the ink, and that would have been cool. But I ended up, after placing those pieces around a little bit, which is like half the fun of collage because you can try things out before you commit to anything with the glue, I decided just to cut strips and place them randomly where I thought they looked good and go from there. So that's what you're seeing me do right there. Now that collage paper is just some black and white stripes that I did on the Gelli plate and I pulled that on tissue paper. So it's very thin. You're going to be able to see some of the color come through, but because it's not just black and tissue paper, there is actually black paint and white paint. It is opaque in a lot of places, but nonetheless, that's what I'm using there. If you're doing this yourself, you can use whatever you have. I actually had thought about making some collage paper specifically for this piece, but I thought, nah, the whole point of this is just to play around and learn, so I'm going to use what I have. And I think these fun black and white stripes really kind of just for some reason went along so well with these bright colors. It kept making me think of like a circus or some kind of just really fun, whimsical thing. You could almost build creatures this way, like if you make your little blobs of color and use your collage papers to make some kind of an animal or some sort of monster or creature or something. But that isn't what I ended up doing today, although that would be a fun thing to do in the future. So maybe I will end up doing that. Who knows? I just wanted to take a second here to thank everyone that watched last week's video. I had a pretty good response from that one and got tons of new subscribers this week, so thank you again very, very much. If you are new, welcome to my channel, and if you've been here before, I'm always so glad to have you back, but I did just want to say that. Thank you so much. If you like this one, give me a thumbs up, and if you hadn't had a chance to subscribe yet, just take a second and go ahead and click that button. It is absolutely free and helps out the channel. Okay, so once I got all of the collage work done on there and let that thoroughly dry, incidentally, that was matte gel medium that I was using to glue that down. I probably should mention that. If you've seen any of my other videos, you know that that is my preferred method to glue down my collage papers. It leaves absolutely no shine or anything. It's just like I would have embedded that onto the paper with nothing, so it's kind of perfect. It is an acrylic media, so it doesn't take all that long to dry, but I probably let that sit for a couple of hours because I started doing other things. And I pulled out a micron pen and also a Pitt pen. The Pitt pen is a little thicker and darker, but I like the micron because it gives me those nice fine lines. And all I'm doing here is just going in and really having fun with line work. Again, this was not meant to be any kind of masterpiece, obviously. Just wanted to have some fun with the inks, play around, see what they can do, see what kind of colors I can get, and what kind of designs I can make out of those. If you saw last week's video, at the end I put up several images of my older work that I used to do on alcohol or with alcohol ink on canvas. And if you're interested in checking those out, I'll put a link to last week's video in my end screen there, and you can go ahead and watch that. But this is the kind of work that I used to do probably going back 10 or 15 years with the alcohol ink. And that's one of the things that really drew me to learning what these acrylic inks are going to do, is because I did use ink before, just a different kind, and I learned that medium very well just by using it. And I thought, I want to do the same with this and kind of treat it in the same way that I was treating the alcohol ink, and seeing how much further I can push it in what different ways. And then I'm hoping to just incorporate this into some future actual pieces that I'll do for you here on the channel. So just by the very nature of this abstract line work that I'm doing, I'm constantly moving and spinning the paper that I'm working on, just so as to not drag my hand, excuse me, through any of the wet pen ink that I have down there. But in doing that, it kind of gives a fresh perspective, because I don't know about you if you work in abstracts, but I kind of always tend to think of the piece in the orientation that I've started working on it. So In this case, it would be with those long black and white stripes pointing, with their tails pointing down, just like that right there. But the beauty of abstract, if you're an intuitive artist like I am, so what that basically means is I go into a piece without any kind of idea in mind. I might have a very vague idea, like in this one, I knew I wanted to use a certain kind of media, and I knew I was going to do some line work. But other than that, I had no ideas. I had no, I don't want to say ideas, I had no parameters that I was placing on the piece. So while I'm working on this line work here and spinning the piece around, it gives me that fresh perspective on the piece. And what I ended up matting here at the end isn't the orientation that I started out with, because I just thought it ended up working out a little bit better with the composition and what ended up becoming of the design. So that's just something interesting that maybe you can try with some of your own work if you do abstract, and just spin it around and see what it looks like upside down, or maybe pointing left or right, and you might be surprised at what you find out. And I didn't do this with this particular piece, but another way to kind of surprise yourself with your own work is to mat off small areas of it. You don't need to always think of it as a whole design. Now, with the piece that I'm doing right here, because there is one kind of contained, I'll call it object in the middle, one kind of contained image, matting it off wouldn't necessarily work for me visually, because it would cut it off, and that's not necessarily what I would want for that. But I will do large pieces, especially with collage, when I'm just like having a free for all with collage and line and things like that. And sometimes I will cut them up if they're on paper, or just, lay a small mat on top of them in different sections. And you can really find some interesting little pieces within a larger piece. Sometimes you can even cut them up and get multiple pieces out of the same one. And if you like to think of it as hanging them in series, that would be a really quick and easy way to do it without making multiple pieces, because but you're kind of making them all at the same time, if that makes any sense. So here I decided to just carry that line work outside of the frame of the image that I already had drawn there, and I'm going in with the micron and then back in with the Pitt pen again, and just carrying those swirls and concentric lines out off of the frame of the image, just to make it a little more interesting. And I just kept going with that until it felt done. And that's an interesting thing to talk about with abstract work like this. It's really hard sometimes to know when to stop, especially if you kind of lose yourself in the therapeutic nature of it, which I can definitely do pretty easily. So I have to kind of remind myself to back up and take a look and set down the pen for a moment and see what I'm actually left with, and if it's something that I feel needs a little more, or if it is telling me that it feels done. And that's kind of the nature of intuitive work as well. It's a conversation between yourself and the piece that you're working on. And it's important to listen to what it has to say as much as it is to impose your will on the piece that you're making, at least in my opinion and for my own work. And so at this point, I did decide that it was enough, and I just wanted to move it around and see what I was actually left with. And this is where I decided to end with it. And I really am happy with the way it turned out. You'll have to let me know what you think. Again, this is not meant to be any sort of masterpiece, just playing with some new materials and trying to get a feel for what they do. But thank you all for joining me on this little journey. And as always, I look forward to coming back and sharing some more with you again next week. Have a great day.